Hello everyone, and welcome to the AOR F1 Sunday, round 15, at the Russian Grand Prix. Glad you can join me here today. We're quickly just going for our setups, pretty stock standard stuff, as usual, which we're trying to adapt to now for this Russian Grand Prix. So now go out to the track to set our qualifying lap on the option tyres. But as usual with this game, things happen, especially with connections, like we had at Monza, which I disconnected from, and this time it was someone else's turn. As you can see, we go out and literally right at the end of the pit lane, Kieran's disconnected. Brilliant. Very nice game. So Philip just gets straight out of it immediately, and we decided, well, why not have a bit of fun? We'll go and destroy our vehicle. How? Well, by hitting the wall at the end of the pit lane. There we go. And just quickly quit, and then we get back to what eventually turned out to be our actual qualifying lap, set right at the end of the session. Only a few seconds left as we cross the line. Got the DRS well here after turn 1. That's turn 1. I don't know how it's a turn, because you hardly turn right or anything, but keeping 7th, using the driving line for this race only, hopefully. We used it at Silverstone as well, but that's because we had so little time to practice. We'd barely done a lap of this track before, or we'd done a few, but not very many. So we had to stick to the driving line, feel confident about our braking zones. As Kieran destroys his vehicle, we're going to try and shift our focus away from that onto our lap. It's quite good at the moment, with 3 tenths up almost, by the looks of him on the timing screens from Bruce. Like, oh, no, yep, that was, I don't know, I must have missed that whilst I was driving, because I actually, it looks pretty bad from here. But it's something I've only noticed on afterthought, but we'll turn our attention to the rest of the lap anyway. Sticking within the white lines now for the rest of this lap, guaranteed, I can tell you. So now, getting a bit of oversteer there on the exit, not too bad. Revving it very high before gearing up into 4th and then to 5th and 6th now. We've got DRS before we'll get back into 7th, which is the highest gear we use at this track. Going towards this very tricky right-hander, which is very easy to run deep into, but we've managed to get it pretty much perfect this time, and see if we get no wheel spin out of this corner. Very tricky, had a little bit of a moment, but not too bad. So now tray brake up this hill, down towards the hill now slightly. Around a bit twitchy moment there possibly, but it doesn't seem to cost us too much. We've got loads of confidence now into this corner. We don't want to mess it up. This hasn't been a good lap from us the previous one, so we need to get it right, but we're going to fly through the last 2 corners, go a bit wide to a Bottas, but we come across the line set a 1:37.8, and it seems to have given us 3rd in the session, which means that's the best qualifying we've ever done in AOR. That's quite astonishing. There's quite a big gap though to the 2 ahead though, and also a slightly bigger gap behind us, but not really that bad. Qualifying 3rd, very astonished by that. You can see our teammate Phil, sister Ferrari's down in 7th, and we will now get ready to shift our focus onto what hopefully and now should be able to be a very good race. As we're now getting ready to leave our garage to go out for this Sochi Grand Prix at Russia. Could be an interesting Grand Prix. There's a few big runners like Kodiard and Novatank not taking part today, so it leaves it a bit open for us other boys to have a chance at getting our podium, which we hope of course we can, starting from 3rd, which is the podium position. Phil down in 7th. He's done a decent job in qualifying at least. There's a few between us, but we'll see. We've got -2 before the start, and we're sticking to lean, but the lights are on. We're checking around us as they go out very quickly, actually, the 5th light. But now we're off, and away we go again. Absolutely wheel spin all over the place, even though we're trying to gear up early. Got it in lead, make sure we're going to go to rich. No, we're not. Small errors down the inside. I see some jump Keane as well. Now we hit the back of Keane because someone's tapped us behind. I'm going to go wide. We're going to try and let Keane. Yeah, Kieran's gone ahead of us. Keane's now behind us. Sorry, quite similar names, maybe, depending on how you hear. Of course, but he's now around the outside. He's going to switch to the outside line. Wow, very wide line there. What on earth is he thinking about there? I'm not sure if we were lagging on his screen or something, but he just went really wide off the track there, to try and get a very interesting entry line for that corner compared to what we do. Of course, our aim now is to catch back up to Small Hero and Kieran ahead, whilst defending from Kian ahead, or hopefully just leaving him behind. But as you can see, it looks like Small Hero's gone wide in Force India, so now we are not hot on his tail, but we're getting closer. Now we definitely are, because you can see those two are trying, well, they're make an attempt at battling. We don't want to battle with Kian behind because then these two would definitely get away from us. So we put it up to Rich for this straight here. We want to close up as much as we can in the slipstream. Of course, we are minus 1 lap of fuel. 27 laps of fuel. 27 laps to save fuel on, of course, though. So shouldn't be too much of a bother, considering we can do it in the pit stop phases as well. And, well, I won't tell you what happens later. Could do, but I'm not. A little bit surprised. As we're going through to complete this first lap very soon and through the last corners, you can see now Pepper is the one behind us, so he's taken Kian at some point during those last corners. Small error is still the one in third on our podium position. We really desperately want. Got one last time from other people having penalties. We really want to prove that we can actually do it. But moving on to lap 6 and quite a long way into the race, we're caught up to the back of Small here, very close to him. So getting closer to him now, as we almost think of going down inside there, but we make a bit of contact with rear wheel. Pepper is now starting to close up on us because we're getting held up by Small Hero. And this was actually quite a decisive moment in the race at this point because we didn't get past, I don't believe, very quickly. So we got held up and then Pepper joined us and then someone else joined behind and about 3 or 4 cars joined us at a certain point because near lap 7 then, the next lap. Going around here we go a bit wide and that's definitely allowed Pepper to close up, and you can see we probably lost the RS on Small Hero ahead. As we go even more wide, they're trying to defend in the position when he had a little look on the inside. It's a bit difficult, I don't know why it is, but when we defend we seem to run wide at that corner especially, but maybe just some kind of balance issue. So we haven't got the DRS. See, Pepper definitely has got the DRS on us. He's closing massively on, so we're going to try and stick to the outside, make him go a long way around onto the inside, see if he can outbrake us. Yes, he outbrakes us, but we're not going to see. We're going to see if we can do the cutback, sorry, as he now has actually got past us and he's got superior traction on the exit. And that's him. Thank you very much and goodbye, he says, for that position change. That's probably one of the easiest moves he's ever had to make under DRS, and then just power away straight to the next corner. But then on the following lap, 8, planned pit stop lap, he's gone a bit wide and we've gone back down the inside of us. Small bit of contact, I believe, but we didn't take much notice of that. But then we ran wide at the next corner, so he gets the position back in one way, even though it was an unforced error by us, unforeseen error. Kian's now right behind us and he's closing even more, making more mistakes. We're going to be down in P6 soon, and that's definitely not where we wanted to be after starting at P3. See, our tyres are pretty much gone, and Kian's now getting very aggressive. We're trying to go to the middle track to defend from him. We're pretty much just sitting duck now because we've definitely lost DRS on Pepper. And now we've got both Kian and Bad Boy behind us. As Kian now goes to the outside, we go the same defensive move as last time. See if he'll work this time. As Kian's now on the outside, and whoop, where's he gone? Oh dear. Oh. He's destroyed his vehicle, and the safety guard's come out. Oh god. Okay, that's an interesting phenomenon. Okay, I can tell you, as we then pit for the prime tyres on his screen, at least, if you haven't seen his point of view, he gets hit off by me, which of course is something that doesn't happen here on our screen, but some weird case of incident of lag, which then of course sadly cost him his race by ending him in the barriers. But now, of course, on lap 10, the safety car is ready to come in, and we've got the green flags to go racing once again here at Russia. Trying to get a decent restart. Looks like Pepper's not had the best of restarts as we could. Let's possibly have a look at him already down into turn 2, of course, because this now is turn 1. But anyway, don't know why they called it that. Don't know why. But we're making the move on him. Pretty straightforward move there. Had the straight line speed after pulling out of his slipstream. But now it looks like he's possibly having a look back at us going down the inside. Will he? Think about it. Could be. As he touches us a bit and we get right, run wide and he takes the positions from us, and we're now in sort of grasp the wingsman behind almost. Unforeseen move by him on the inside there, or it wasn't really, but the contact at least was. We tried to leave him plenty of room on the inside, going around the outside, but I possibly could have understeered into us, and then of course that really unsettled our car and flung us out wide. Luckily, of course, we didn't hit the wall and damage our car at all. We managed to catch back up to him around lap 14 now at the end of it. Almost. See, there's only about half a second on the timing screens, but the same to Bad Boy behind, so we're all pretty close to this little group of 4 of us, which is Small Hero ahead, I believe, of Pepper. We really want to keep going at this pace, but as you can see, look, where the time screen is, it possibly means we could have dropped DRS here on Pepper. Bad Boy definitely got it because he's very close to us. Quite terrible exit, really. Off there, and you can see Bad Boy's all over the back of our gearbox now. He's just waiting for this DRS opportunity to get past us. We've got it as well, but I don't think it could be enough. will we be able to keep the position? Yes, we will. He's not going to have a look down turn 1, but we've locked up and we've gone a bit wide into turn 2 and 3, and now he's going to have a look round the outside. He's on the option tyres, so he could have started on the primes and then going option, opposite of what we do almost. But see, we managed to stick to the inside. He didn't manage to hold it all the way around the outside, so we keep the position for the time being. This is the best battle we had, kind of thing, during the races. Well, now we've gone wide, as you can see. Now he takes us back at the inside, and that's pretty much an easy move yet again. We've run wide at that corner, losing the position. But now we will see if we can get back in under the DRS, which comes in a few corners' time. Because we're pretty much on his gearbox. I think we've gone past the detection point though, so we'll now see for sure if we've got the DRS. But he's got away on traction. We are struggling for traction here somehow. But then that is the pad versus wheel argument. We're now looking to have a go down the side, think the better of it is he's run a bit deep there. That means we definitely can have a look around the outside here. Will we look around the outside? Yep, minimal contact as we now carry the speed around the outside. We've got the grip. Just about, he's on the inside of us. We turn in, but no, we have to turn out because he's on the inside. And now we're still going side by side as he's now actually on the outside of us, and we think back, we have to give him the room. He's now side by side through the fourth corner in a row now, going down towards the second to last corner, and he switches back to the inside, but he's now just behind us. Of course he's got the DRS now as we were ahead, going past the activation or detection point. So now he's, well, you can see where he is, literally already past us before the DRS. So goodbye. Is what I'll say. So he's gone down the inside, and still on the outside actually. Wow, I didn't think we could do that. So now we managed to hold it around the outside and see if he won't hold it. We'll try and cut back to the inside, possibly we're going to cut the inside off pretty early, unlike we did to Pepper, and therefore ended up getting smashed off at that corner. So look, he's not having a look down inside, but we run a bit wide again, not too badly, but he's actually got an amazing exit. He's down the inside of us into this corner, but he backs out of it and we carry the speed, but it's actually there on the inside. I didn't know that. So he must have gone off track to make sure that he, well, didn't make contact with us, of course, but now we're still ahead, defending this position like absolute death, because of course, well, we're still ahead of him in the drivers, but any points lost on track here could mean the difference come the end of this season, as, well, personally America Next is not definitely one of our favourites. Absolute horror of a track for us usually. Brazil's okay, but from what I've tested on it, I don't seem to like the wheel spin I get there. And Abu Dhabi, autospinheaven.com, or whatever it's called. I just called it that. So, therefore, this race matters a bit more, because if we can be pretty much equal here, we might be equal at some of the other places as well. And hopefully give some more battles like this one, which is currently being at the moment. We thought he'd get past last time around DRS. This time he's, well, I bet you he'd be hoping to get past on the softer tyres. But as you can see, go around here, a bit of a contact there, almost. But he's just waiting at this point. He's just agonising, it must be, being behind. However, as you can now see, we pit at the beginning of lap 20, and well, Bad Boy got past us. Sadly, some of the footage was a bit screwed up, so it couldn't all be placed in. It was a simple DRS overtaking move, so I didn't put it in. But he undercut us quite substantially by a few laps, at least. So we now got close to Wingsman after we'd pitted, and we're pretty much just trying to breeze past him, and there he goes. Let's just doesn't try and defend it on the inside, but realises that we're going to carry the speed round. And sadly, that was really the race all over for us. Bad Boy was way too far up the road for us after getting a massive undercut. About 5 or 6 seconds, we never managed to get that gap back really. And then yeah, that's just how it is. But anyway, we'll come round the last corner as we got 6th position. See, very nice battle he posts. Yeah, it was a very nice one, to be honest, even though I didn't get your overtaking there at the end. We come in 6th, nevertheless, with Kieran taking the victory here at Russia, with Kieran following very closely in 2nd, and Pepper getting the last podium spot. Sadly, guys, as we watch the park firmware, for those of you interested in this results and standings, drivers and constructors, they will not be in this video, as they have not yet been updated at the point of when I made this video and uploaded it. So if you want to see how they look now, with 3 rounds to go after this race, pop over to AOR's website. I'll leave the link in the description, and also specifically all the race results if you're interested in that. Moving on then to what is the next upcoming Grand Prix of this season. It is round 16 at the American Grand Prix, or Circuit of the Americas. Great track, said to have corners from every other track in the world just put together just to make it look good. To be honest, I'll agree with that. But anyway, we'll have to look forward to that, as that is the next race, and we'll try and do our best, and we will hopefully post the highlights for you next week. But until then, I'll see you all next time for what should be a quite astonishing and brilliant Grand Prix of the Americas.